Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So today's video is not about makeup and it's one that I am not excited to make. If you are coming from my other channel or you're watching this for the first time, I'm basically doing a two-part series talking about how my Instagram account got disabled and how I got it back, and then what I did to some steps that you can take. So in the other video that I posted, I talked about the entire story. I'll kind of do a brief overview here, but I did go into the entire story. So you can go up here and click that. You can hear the entire story of what happened, the kind of timeline, and then how I actually got it back. Now, part of that is knowing somebody. You got to know somebody in Instagram, and let's face it, not everybody's going to know somebody or be able to find somebody willing to help you to get your account not disabled. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about other steps. Now, I will say none of these steps have worked for me. They haven't worked, or they didn't work in the time frame. So I got my account back within 7 days because a friend did put me in touch with somebody from Instagram. I was able to get it reinstated. So most people that I saw that were able to get their accounts back, it took like 3, 4, 5 weeks. Some even took a couple months going through the regular channels. So let me talk about all the steps. I'm going to talk about all the steps, and I'll post links below to the forms that you can fill out, and one that, kind of like, don't even do that one, it doesn't work, and go from there. So let me tell you what happened. Okay, just in case you don't want to go to the other video and you just want to hear what happened. Long story short, on October 21st, Friday, I got a notice that I was trying to post some pictures, and I got a notice that I was suspended for 30 days because I had violated the terms and conditions of Instagram. And I immediately appealed because there was a little button, and I verified my phone number, and they said, okay, they're going to review it within 24 hours. 24 hours later, my account was then permanently disabled, stating that I had violated the terms or violated the community guidelines by pretending to be somebody else. So personally, that appeal button in that first doesn't do anything. Nobody looks at it. I think this is happening to too many people because it was almost exactly 24 hours that my account was permanently disabled. After that, nobody looked at it. Do it because you have to get to the next steps. That's what you have to do. But don't think that anything's going to happen in the 24 hours. The only thing that's going to happen is your account's going to be disabled. But so my account was disabled. I started clicking the appeal. I started, I submitted reason why you thought you were wrongly disabled. I did that, and I started finding some other forms. I did find another form that showed where I could submit my government IDs, which I did. And then I started just kind of looking at other things. So here are a couple things. So how I got my account back, long story short, again, is by the grace of God, a friend of mine knew somebody that worked at Instagram, and he was able to put me in contact with somebody, and that person was willing to help me out. I was just very, very grateful. He contacted me, and I was able to send him all the information. I didn't pester him. It was like 2 days, and then all of a sudden he sent me an email and said, your account should be back. And it was. So he did give me some couple tips of things I need to do to prevent it from happening again. So that's stuff that I'm going to talk about at the end. But this is all I'm going to talk about in this video, is everything you can do that if you don't know somebody that works at Instagram, because let's be honest, most people aren't. I got very, very lucky. Very, very lucky. I am not sharing the person's name. I'm not sharing the person's contact information. It's not mine to share. It was a friend of a friend, and I'm entirely grateful, but I'm not going to do that to the person. So please don't ask, because I'm not going to be sharing. But I'm going to walk through some things that I had done, that I had learned in the process of things that other people had done. Now, I got my account back in 7 days, which was pretty quick from other people. Whereas most people I was seeing, the ones that were going through the normal channels, it was taking 3, 4, 5 weeks, some even a couple of months. So that's, there we have it. But let's go through a couple things that you can do and the forms that you can complete to try and get your Instagram back. Okay, so for number one, if you are in the portion where your account is just suspended and you're doing that initial appeal, you can't do any of the appeal forms until that 24-hour period passes. So I know I tried. I've seen other people say the form doesn't work, and it's because you have to wait for that. You have to wait for basically your account to be disabled. I was able to see my account, but no pictures and just my name and blank, but I couldn't see anything else. And then once my account was disabled, it was just like it was completely wiped and it was never existed. So you do have to wait those 24 hours. After those 24 hours, there are two forms that I found. I found the appeal form, and then I found both were appeal forms, but one was just basically, what's your name, your username, everything, all your information. And then the second thing is there was a second form that I found that you could actually submit your government IDs. So what I did is I took a picture of my driver's license, very, very clear. And then I took a picture of me with my driver's license. So it was very clear. So it was the same item, so it was very, very clear that it was me, that my name matched my Instagram account. The mistake that I think I made in that is that I was doing it several times a day. And I did go back and hear from somebody that you shouldn't do it more than twice a day. So what I would suggest is to do the one form once and the one with the driver's license or the ID once a day. So do each of those forms, once. Each of those forms once a day, and that's it. He said that if you do it too many times, basically Instagram says that it's spamming, and then it basically ignores that account. So I don't know if that's true, but it seems pretty legit. And I know I was kind of spamming it because I was just like, I'm gonna annoy them, and I never got a response. So I'm in the thought that he was probably right. So, and this is something that this guy does for a living. So don't do more than 2 appeal forms a day through Instagram. Okay, number 2, the second thing I did was I did file a complaint with the California Attorney General. Now, I don't know if this is going to do anything. I did have a letter that was supposed to arrive today in the mail from the California Attorney General. However, my mailman, who is awful, delivered all our mail to somebody else, and I didn't get any of our mail today. Great. So I had three pieces of mail, saw an informed delivery, and I didn't get it. So I don't know what was in the letter. It could be, we can't help you letter. But I did hear a suggestion from somebody that they had, now this was almost a year ago, I think it was 10 months ago, that they had contacted the California Attorney General. They sent a message to Instagram on their behalf, and their account was reinstated. However, I believe this was posted on Reddit, and I'm pretty sure that the Attorney General now in California is getting inundated with complaints about Instagram, and maybe they're just not doing it. So I don't know, but that is something I tried. I would post a link below to that complaint form. Don't know if it's going to work, but that is the second thing I did. Okay, the third thing I did is something that I'm going to tell you don't bother, because they basically sent a response saying, don't even bother doing this. And I sent a complaint to the California Department of Consumer Affairs, DCA. They sent me an email basically saying that the DCA's jurisdiction is limited to matters pertaining to different boards of bureaus of industries, of professions, etc. So basically they have no jurisdiction over Instagram. So that's one I would just say cross off your list, because they're not going to be able to help you. Okay, so the fourth thing I did was I did send a complaint to the San Mateo County District Attorney's Office of Consumer and Environmental Protection Unit. I will post their information down below. Again, I have not gotten a response, any sort of response from them. My account has been since reinstated since I sent that, so I don't know if I will get a response, but I didn't get a response that they couldn't help me. So I'm still putting them on the list, and they were suggested to me by the Department of Consumer Affairs. They were the ones that gave me that contact information. So I guess they have maybe some sort of jurisdiction over Instagram, given that they're in that county. So it's one of those, I would say it may not, it may work, it may not, but you can at least try. Okay, the fifth thing I did, I just basically did, even though I pretty much knew this was going to do nothing, was I sent a complaint to the Golden Gate Better Business Bureau. Again, this was suggested by the Department of Consumer Affairs, but if you go to the Golden Gate Better Business Bureau, you will see that Instagram has the grade of F. And that's because they basically do not give an F about anybody who is complaining about them, and it doesn't look like they respond. So I had pretty much had written what my complaint was, so it was very easy to complete the form. I figured, why not? But I basically just got the response back from the Better Business Bureau saying, we've received your complaint, we're going to be sending it to them, but I have not received any sort of response back. So that's when I would say probably not going to do anything, because they have an F rating with the Better Business Bureau. So it's pretty much is that they don't give an F about it. Now, the sixth thing I did was something that a lot of people recommended, but did not work for me. And that was communicate with Facebook Business Manager. And in order to do that, you have to have a business account. You have to have run ads, which I have. Obviously I have a YouTube channel. I don't really promote. I don't really do promotions or ads anymore. I did when I first started, but I really haven't done it. But I did have the chat feature. So I was able to use the chat feature to talk to somebody. And that person said, hey, can I give you a call? They immediately called me. I was on the phone with them for a half an hour, and the person was so nice, and I was so appreciative, and said, I really understand. I know, and I'm going to do everything I can to help you. But, keep in mind that we're Facebook, that's Instagram, even though we're all under Meta, we are two different companies. But I was very appreciative. The person really just got me information and really asked me a lot of questions. And I thought, this is it. I'm getting it back. And I got a response back from him saying, still working on it, but we're in contact with Instagram. I'm like, yes, this is it. And then I got a response back saying, Instagram confirmed that they have your appeal. There's really nothing more I can do. I wish you the best of luck. And that was it. And that was the Monday. My account was first stopped on Friday. Saturday was when it was completely disabled. This was on Monday, and that was it. It was just that happened. Talked to that person in the morning. By the afternoon, it was like, I've done everything I can. I'm moving on. So I never got any sort of movement from that. Now, it's not to say that it won't work, because again, my account was reinstated on the following Friday. So it was 4 days, but I did not get any response. And I'm now recording this on a Tuesday, so it's been 8 days. I never got any sort of response from that. Now my account has been reinstated, so I don't know if that's why. But so a lot of people, now that's something that quite a few people have recommended, but it was more the videos and things that I saw for that were several months old. I think the most recent one was maybe 4 months ago. And this disabling of accounts seems to be happening more and more and more. So I'm not sure if that's going to work. So I would suggest giving it a try, at least get you maybe in the queue, but don't, even if you get somebody in the phone through Facebook Business, don't get your hopes up, because they really can't do anything because they don't work for the same company. But if you do need to open an account, run an ad for 2 or 3 days, run it for $1 a day, and just basic, and that will give you the chat feature that you can talk to somebody. Again, it didn't work for me. It may work for you. It's worked for others. I really don't know. And finally, the last thing is something I never got around to doing, and that was contacting Facebook directly and sending a letter. Now, I did get the information from the Department of Consumer Affairs. I will post the Facebook information below. There is no email. There is a phone number. There's actually 2 phone numbers and an address. So I had planned to maybe send a letter with my information that I would have normally sent in an email, maybe sent it in a snail mail, but I never got around to doing that because, like I did say, I did get my account reinstated. But that's something that I had thought about doing. But and then I would also say to do the same with Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, if you go to Twitter, there's so many people tagging Instagram with their accounts disabled, and there's just no response. They're posting they don't care. So, but that was the next thing. Something that I had never gotten around to doing. Okay, so those are the things that you can do. I'm just, like I said, I was trying to put everything in one kind of bucket where you can kind of go along and just kind of check the boxes and to try and help you. Again, don't submit the appeal forms more than twice a day, and then you can do those other steps. I don't know if any of them are going to work, to be honest. I was very, very lucky. I keep saying that, but I just want to stress how lucky I was to get my account back as quickly as I did because a friend hooked me up. And so your best bet is to try and find somebody that works at Instagram, scour your sources, post on Facebook, whatever you have, to try and find somebody that can help you. But if you can't, definitely take these steps, and definitely take these steps in the meantime. With the person that I found, it was a casual conversation. They basically said, how have you been? And I said, well, with the exception of my Instagram account being disabled, I've been great. And he's like, actually, I know somebody at Instagram. So that's how the conversation came about. And again, I'm so lucky. But one of the things I did ask this person that worked at Instagram is, what can I do to prevent this from happening again? Because I personally have, it's only been 4 or 5 days since I've had my account back, or 4 days. But every time I open Instagram, I'm like, I keep thinking it's going to be disabled. I literally have PTSD of every time I open my account. I'm hoping that wears off, and I hope that I will get not that fear, but to have your account for almost 10 years and then to all of a sudden be locked out and lose almost 3,000 pictures, especially of my son's, I posted my son's, birth announcement was on Instagram, and it was just very upsetting to be locked out. Okay, here's the things that you can do to prevent it from happening to you. So one is to enable two-factor authentication so you don't get hacked. I did not have this. I did not have this. It was anytime I got the code, I didn't do the two-factor. It was always just text me, and they would text me and I would always get into my account. So I never had that. As soon as I got my account back, that was the first thing I did. I set it up with my Facebook. I set it up with my Instagram. I did that. So I don't know if that's going to prevent it because I didn't get hacked. My account was disabled, but I have set that up. So hopefully that will prove that I am, who I say I am, and that I've been using my account. So I don't know, but again, that will at least prevent you from being hacked, because I do know people that have gotten hacked and have completely lost their accounts. Number 2 is to flag accounts that are impersonating you versus the other way around. Evidently, people will impersonate somebody, and I've had 3 or 4 accounts do that. I don't know why, but take some of my pictures, start a new account, and I've flagged them. People have let me know. I flagged them, and those accounts get disabled. But evidently, what happens is a lot of times those people will set up, and then they will notify Instagram that you're the person that's pretending to be them, and Instagram just doesn't care, and it's all algorithm or all AI, and they shut you down. So that's something I've just been doing daily. First thing in the morning when I get on Instagram is I've been checking to see if I see anybody that is pretending to be me. I'm not the only Shannon Ford, but I am checking that. So that's something you can do, especially if you are someone with somewhat of a big following. And the third thing you can do is to get verified. Now, I have tried to get verified before, but I'm not famous, and so I guess So I've tried to get verified. I have submitted another verification request to try and, get it verified again. So I haven't gotten a denial. You can try every 30 days, but that was one of the things he did suggest, is to try and get verified. And I am trying to do that. And one of the things it says is to, what helps with that is to have any 3 to 5 articles where you're the primary subject matter. So not just that you're mentioned, but you are the articles about you. So I did have a couple articles. Now some of them are pretty old, but I did submit that. So, fingers crossed that I may be able to get verified, but not everybody can do that, and that's hard. So those are 3 things that you can do. I think the most important is the 2-factor authentication. I know a lot of people don't want to do that, but to me, that the stress of just, again, opening my account and it just being gone and it just feeling completely out of control was just, it was heartbreaking to have all those pictures and all those memories gone. Now, I had printed a lot of my sons. I did a book of all these posts from Instagram when my son was little. So I have those books. So I was at least had that, but it was just very upsetting. And to have built somewhat of a social media presence on Instagram and have worked toward that recently, and to have it just wiped away and almost seemed to be gone in an instant was just very, very disheartening. So if you're watching this and you're going through the same situation, I am so sorry. I feel for you. Just do the steps that I stated, and I just hope for the best. And my best advice is to you is to try and find somebody at an Instagram, but take the other steps in the meantime. And then if and when you do get your account back, is to do these steps. So hopefully if you're watching this and maybe you haven't gotten your account disabled, take those steps at the end. But that's it. So I wish I could help you more, and I will not, again, I'm going to be leaving the comments open, but if you see comments like, oh, this guy helped me out and I'm so thankful for that, those are scammers. So I am going to leave the comments open for, if there's any comments that I can respond to, but if there are comments that are just scammers that I don't respond to, or they're saying this guy was the best, and he helped me out and he got my account back within 2 days, they're probably a scammer. And now some of those scammers can get your account back, but you're going to pay, because I have met somebody that paid $2,500, and there's a couple videos of people that had to pay and found somebody to do it, but they paid, big bucks to get it done. So, I wanted my Instagram account back. I just didn't want it back that bad. So with that, good luck to you. And if you haven't watched the other video, pretty much, like I said, just talks about finding somebody. But I wish you the best of luck. And Instagram, fix your damn app. Bye.